What's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is another Chance Encounter.
Hey, what's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg. I'm a commercial real estate guy. I'm from the internet. Front of a house, it's going to be torn down soon.
I understand that there are power lines that are getting kind of close.
What's up again? This is Dan Fredenberg, and that there is we're seeing more properties like this being built. Let's do some stuff. Talk to you later. Bye.
Today I'm joined by Carson Jones. How you doing today, Carson?
Very good. How are you?
I can't really complain. So one thing that I think is very important, and I'm talking to you and the audience there in the camera, it's very important to your success that you can effectively introduce yourself. So one thing I like to do is to get the guests to first introduce themselves. So Carson, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Carson Jones. I am the founder and owner of Baylor Avenue, which is a multifamily investment company. We are looking for properties in the southern United States, mainly Texas, a little bit in Florida, but most of our properties are going to be in Texas is what we're after. So current property right now is in Houston. It's the same gig everywhere, add value to it, put in some granite countertops, some stainless steel appliances, and, get under market rents and get a great deal to our investors. We're sitting at 24% average annual return on this deal we have currently going right now. It's on the Milo. So
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So the first segment in Chance Encounter interview is I go through the motivation to be in the next commercial deal. So I found that even though I've got the 6 different roles down here at the bottom, I found that especially beginners, they're not really clear on what their role is going to be, but at least they know that what their motivation is. And I've got those down to 5. So the first one is to preserve the purchasing power. In other words, if you've got a substantial nest egg and making that wealth work for you so that you don't have to do any other kind of work. That's preserving your purchasing power from inflation. The next reason is my big one, which is that as a high earner from tech, I could just invest from that salary, but there's an intermediate step of having to pay income tax on that money. So if I instead get into co-GPing, getting involved in these commercial deals, then I'm being rewarded for my time in the form of wealth. And so I get to take advantage of those shortcuts or whatever you want to call it, which brings me to the next one, which is fast tracking your retirement. The key point of this is saying retirement. So that does separate you a bit from the first group, the purchasing power protector guys. And the other thing too is it's the when you've got a planned out of the entire activity of commercial real estate investment, then that's really the fast tracking thing. A lot of people decide that they need to get educated and take an active role. And that brings me to the super ambitious people who never have a limit in sight. They just want to buy their whole town and basically they're just so ambitious. They just need to, be on the top of everything. And the last one is if they've got some sort of sector of society that they want to help as a result of becoming wealthier. They've got, it might be animals, it might not necessarily be people, but they got some sort of cause that they want to forward, and they recognize that becoming much wealthier is one of the best ways to do that. So of those 5 motivations, which best describe you, Carson?
I would say accelerating returns. I come from a finance background. I'm a long-term options trader, which is, I'm not day trading, but I'm looking for growth. I'm looking to grow my portfolio in a quick manner. Right now, to be in multifamily real estate, it's a great place to be. If anybody looks back to the 1970s, from March 1st, 1969 to March 1st, 1979, the S&P 500 returned -4%. If you add in inflation, it was -52%. So on a $100,000 investment, you would have lost 52,000 because the dollar, they're spending it quicker than we can make it almost,
Mm-hmm.
But multifamily, what it does is it's not only an accelerator. It's kind of, I hate to say it, but I have two answers, man. It's the accelerator and then the preservation of wealth. But if I'm allowed to do that, but it's just a reduced market exposure. There's in any type of market, there's money to be made. You just have to find good spots. With multifamily, it always grows above inflation. It always hedges above inflation. So we're not just hedging inflation. We're getting into a great asset class, because if inflation gets too out of hand, there's going to be some economic headwinds ahead. Stagflation. I just read to you what happened in the 70s. Do we know that's going to happen? No, but there's a good chance. History always repeats itself for some reason. I hate to say it, but I hope not. I have money in the market and I hope it does well, but there's a lot of headwinds out there. So none of the economic data coming in recently, as far as jobs numbers, inflation, anything has looked good, and you can blame the virus, but still, I mean, it's like, there's something else going on right now, that's, causing things to halt. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, well, to your point, it's if you look at the dollar bills, it's printed by the government. Okay, so money, the government can make the money that they want at their own peril, of course. But at the end of the day, they don't want to be in the apartment building business, right? So the fact, but they do need to make sure that people have places to stay, even if it is for profit. And so I think that having, the fact is that's how governments draw their borders, is by the land itself. So right there, I think it's a slam dunk that landlords do have a bit more power than the government would likely like, as far as I'm concerned. But there you go. But we'll leave that for another segment.
Yeah, one other thing, a lot of people are turning to crypto assets, as far as, multifamily is a separate asset class for me. My thing about crypto is, if you notice, when the rumor came out that Amazon was going to start taking crypto, they quickly denied it. It was that day at like 2:00. Tesla started taking it and then they dropped it. It's because they don't want to add that volatility to their balance sheet, in my opinion. I haven't sat down with their board or anything and discussed it with them, but I'm pretty sure that's why they dropped it. They can't sit there and have, 20% fluctuations, on a company of that size on the crypto. With that being said, I think crypto may still go up, but I don't think, it's going to happen as quick as a lot of people are speculating it will, is what I'm getting at. It's got a long way to go. And I think it still goes up, because like I said, people use that as a hedge on inflation too, and in diversification. But I think it's got some growing pains ahead of it too. So,
right.
Some of the smaller coins have a lot of growth opportunity also.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that I read that Tesla did start accepting crypto again. And well,
that's good, man. I mean, that's
part
great.
of the reason that I heard was Elon Musk was saying that the farming of Bitcoining, the actual mining, it's not environmentally conscious. And so they figured, it's like, well, we can't really be contributing if it's, basically generating that much heat or something like that. That's what I recall reading. But
So
it is.
it had nothing to do with their balance sheet then. But I mean, it does affect your balance sheet. It does. But that just means there might be some steps ahead of it. There needs to be some faster clearing if they don't want it on their books, cleared out of there. I mean, it's kind of like credit card processing fee. They're taking in so much money that they're going to have to unload a lot of crypto if they don't want the exposure to it. There's a way to do it and make it a tradable currency for sure. But I think it still goes up. I really do. I'm not here to sell crypto, but I see some headwinds too with it, and I think some of the smaller coins might turn out to surprise us. I think Elon Musk, and I haven't kept up with it. Elon Musk and both Mark Cuban were behind Doge, wanting to, bring that forward and working with the owners of that to, work on that. I think the Dallas Mavericks actually take it as a payment right now. So anyway,
Lots
but
of fun.
they're having some trouble with, getting it through. But anyway, or
Right.
being able to sect it. So.
Right. So the next segment here, it's going through the 6 different roles in an apartment complex deal. So I'll start off by the one that most accurately describes myself, which is I'm a repositioner. So part of being a repositioner is you have to underwrite the actual properties. You have to look for a bunch of properties and you have to find out which one has upside. You already described much of this, but this is for the audience, especially if you have any beginners who end up wanting to watch this, right? So one of the easiest ways to understand to have more upside to a property is through more efficient operations. Because that will end up meaning that you're spending less to have the same amount of income. So that's one way. But, right now we're in the hottest real estate market in history. So that one isn't usually going to be, the big saving grace. The other one, as you described, is to get your contractor team to fix it up, make it nicer so you can actually charge more in rent. That's an easy way to get some upside. But me, I'm from the internet. So if you're a repositioner from the internet, you're going to need a local. You're going to need some boots on the ground to take care of the business. Okay. And I also know, because my background's in digital security, so I know that everything can be spoofed. So the local is the one who can make sure that the operations aren't, like only taking photos of like 30 units and then the other 2 are like a disaster area or something like that, or the contractors are deliberately hiding, like I'm always aware of these kinds of workarounds. And as the remote guy, I have to be the one who understands all those things. So that's more or less the day-to-day stuff. But if you want the actual building, you have to go to the financier and say, hey, give me a whole whack of cash so I can buy the building. But they're going to say, sure, but who's your sponsor? And a lot of beginners are like, you're what now? It's like, yeah, your sponsor. Somebody in the fold, if you want to get the loan, somebody in the fold has to have a similar asset. So if Elon Musk wants to buy 350 unit apartment complex and he wants to get a loan, somebody on his team has to already own a similar asset, and then they have to bring the net worth at least to as much as the value of the loan to the deal as well. But if you've got all of these, you've got an apartment complex deal. So I go through these because I ask my guests, what are your core competencies and what would you contribute? It sounded like financier was a big part of what you do, but
yeah, I'm financier. I take care of the investors. I have people on the ground there, that's handling all those other aspects that you just talked about, the operations, and the value add. We're going to upgrade the clubhouse so we get a better conversion rate and can reduce marketing expense. There's several other expense items that we're going to be able to cut down a lot. And then, the value add, we're adding in wood floors, stainless steel appliances, and the granite countertops, which is a big deal. And that will allow us to charge more for rent. So anyway, we're going to make it look pretty, and it already is pretty, but we're going to make it look prettier. So
right.
and get it functioning at a better operational place. So more efficiently.
Right. Hardening the property and all that kind of stuff. I love it. So the next question I always have is, without breaking any SEC rules, so no enticing investors, can you describe the perfect person in real estate for you to help? Where are they right now? Who are they?
Typically, the people that I've helped in my life are people that have had a bad experience in another investment class. I had a friend that got burned by an oil and gas guy. He lost a good amount of money. I'm not going to disclose how much it was. It's his information. But I guided him back. I got him in some good places in the market. He's back up. He's winning again. It's for those people that need a little direction on where things are going. And the way I operate is I'm long term. Just because I trade options doesn't mean I'm short term. Because I don't know what's going to happen to the market tomorrow. If I did, I'd just buy the apartment complex with cash.
Right.
But I'm a long-term person that looks for growth, good solid fundamentals behind it, good reasons to buy. All you can do is pick good spots, and multifamily is a good spot to be picking right now. So,
awesome. And we met through LinkedIn. Is that the best
absolutely.
way for people to reach out to you, or do you have a website or something like that?
They can go to Baylor.ventures, or they can shoot me an email at info@Baylor.ventures, and shoot me an email, and I will respond to them and take care of whatever you need. Any questions you have, I can walk you through the property, comps in the area, the whole 9 yards. So anyway.
Awesome. So, by the way, for you in the audience, I'm Dan Friedenberg. If you don't know my background, it's in e-commerce technology, which is primarily lead generation, lead capture, and online sales funnels. And then I do that and use my programming ability to streamline acquisitions and to help with operations and all that sort of automation. So that's who I am. There's one other thing for you, which is that under my books here, there's a red button that says subscribe. And if you hit it, then it'll turn gray, and that's better. It's better because then YouTube pays for these videos instead of me, which that's a way better thing. It's and all it does is it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just means that my videos will show up on your list of suggestions, but you don't have to click on them or anything like that. That's plenty for me. But Carson, thank you very much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank y'all.
Awesome.
Have a good one.
Take care.